Schedule a free design consultation, and the more you buy, the more you'll save on blinds, shades, shutters, and more from Budget Blinds. Visit budgetblinds.com today.
This is Newcap News with Bart Pediasic.
Good evening. Notorious sex offender Michael Stanley, the man who most notably evaded police by throwing his ankle bracelet on the roof of a Lloydminster business and fled Canada 2 years ago, is back behind bars in Seattle. He's accused of sexually assaulting an elderly woman. His alleged victim is now speaking out.
I knew it's better to be raped than to be killed. And so he put me down on the floor in here, and I just turned my head to the side and just prayed for all I was worth.
Police say Stanley broke into a home and attacked the 69-year-old woman on Friday. A warrant was issued when he originally fled the country in 2013, but Canadian authorities chose not to extradite him. Stanley has a long history of sex offenses against women and children. He's back in court in 2 weeks. Fraud comes in many forms, especially when it comes to your money. To mark Fraud Prevention Month in Alberta, Katie Hudson has more on how to stop yourself from becoming a victim, a possible victim rather, when it comes to your finances.
Speak up right away.
Shane Schneider, manager of ATB Financial, says financial fraud is a reality in Lloydminster, and if something seems off about your finances for any reason, speak up. An easy way to recognize if something is amiss is to keep on top of your monthly statements.
You're going through the bank statements and you're like, I don't remember taking out cash at that machine. We can trace that back to see if it was actually you with the help of our partners down in the States and stuff like that too, right? So watch your statements is the big thing there.
Bank fraud could include someone asking you to send money because they are in trouble, or your bank card being used without your consent at an ATM. However, fraud is not just financial.
Phone scams or email scams. We've seen things everywhere from people trying to not pay for food at establishments. And that in itself is actually a fraud, as well as trying to obtain lodging with false information.
The Canadian government recognizes March as Fraud Prevention Month. They say that other common types of scams include accepting a free trial or offer and then having it charge your cell phone later, job opportunities that seem to offer a big reward for little or no work, and health products that falsely claim to cure diseases such as obesity or cancer.
A good rule of thumb, if something seems too good to be true, then it probably is. Always be skeptical of offers that are made to you, especially over the phone or through mail or email.
And when it comes to your money, Schneider reminds people that if they feel they may be a victim of financial fraud, to not be afraid to tell your bank.
So definitely reach out and speak up. Sometimes it could be a little bit embarrassing to speak up because you're thinking to yourself, well, how did I become, or how did I fall into that trap, or how did I do this? For sure, it's going to be a little bit intimidating and embarrassing, but definitely number one is speak out.
Katie Hudson, Newcap News.
It's been 5 years since anyone in Saskatchewan has won the award, but an area high school student put an end to that cold streak. Every year, the Aboriginal Financial Officers Association holds an essay writing contest with 3 scholarships up for grabs. Jeremy Thompson went to Eagleview High School to speak with the winner.
Students at Eagleview High School applaud the success of one of their own. Grade 12 student Josh Hill reads them the essay that won him $5,000 worth of scholarships. Very topical considering the subject of his paper.
What I noticed within the graduates, well, last year's graduates went on university, is they were having problems in university, and they all had the same problem, was they lacked financial literacy skills. They didn't know how to conserve, they didn't know how to budget, they spent money they didn't have. I thought, you know what, I'm going to write an essay and I'm going to learn a lot so I can try to bring something back.
Hill's ability to convey his ideas in writing took him to a convention in Winnipeg to read his essay to more than 1,000 business and political leaders. He brought along his teacher, Kevin Spahich, who was thrilled over his student's success.
I really had no idea he was doing it. Lo and behold, he wrote this essay and was selected as one of the recipients. So, pretty cool.
But what exactly is financial literacy?
Having an understanding of what it means to manage your finances and be understanding of credit and borrowing money. But a lot of common sense stuff that doesn't seem to be as common nowadays.
The main thing that I learned over there was how to network and how to communicate with people, and that's a strong asset, especially within the business community.
After spending a week in Winnipeg, he'll return to Eagleview with a plan.
What I think is there should be a permanent place for financial literacy within education, and I believe that would increase a lot of development, because you develop the student, you develop the community, and it goes on.
Hill will be sure to take his own advice and budget responsibly when he heads off to university in the fall. Jeremy Thompson, Newcap News.
And now we have 2 new pets to showcase on this week's edition of Pet Project. Geppetto is a 4-year-old domestic short-haired cat, and Lawrence is a 3-year-old black lab cross. Here's John from the SPCA with more.
You won't get that or what? Meet Lawrence. Lawrence is a 3-year-old Labrador Retriever cross. He is microchipped, neutered, and up to date on vaccinations. Lawrence came to us as a stray. When he arrived, he had an injury on his neck due to a bullet wound. He has since recovered and is now waiting for his forever home. Lawrence can be a bit timid at first, but once he gets to know you, he is a friendly boy. He loves to go for walks and play fetch, but can get a little excited and may jump up. Therefore, he would be best suited to a home with older children. If you think Lawrence would be perfect for you, come to the SPCA to meet him today. Meet Geppetto. Geppetto is a 4-year-old male domestic shorthair. He is neutered, microchipped, and up to date on vaccinations. Geppetto was found as a stray in January. The tips of his ears were frostbitten and had fallen off just before he arrived at the shelter. Although Geppetto has had a rough start to 2015, he is still full of love and enjoying life. He adores cuddles and getting groomed, and would love nothing more than to find his home just in time for spring. Come and visit Geppetto today. We're sure that he'll steal your heart.